Hi, this is Dr. Bill Berkowitz of Life Chiropractic in Grass Valley. Let's talk whiplash. This is a subject with which I'm intimately familiar. First of all, it was a whiplash injury that eventually led me into chiropractic because after a year I began to experience such significant problems that I was having a hard time going to college. And over the next couple of years, it led me into exploring chiropractic as my profession. And I haven't looked back. So let's look at 4 disturbing ways whiplash injuries to the neck can cause permanent damage and last forever. And believe me, a huge percentage of whiplash injuries do have long-term consequences. Not a week goes by that I'm not taking a history with somebody, and when we explore what happened in the past, they will mention a car accident from which they walked away, that they didn't receive any treatment, or that they got a little bit of care for a week or two and then everything was fine. Except when we take x-rays of their neck, we see the impact of that car accident. We see arthritis and degeneration that far exceeds what we would expect to see in someone their age with the rest of their history. So do not take whiplash injuries lightly. Here are 4 disturbing ways. 1, initially an improper exam and insufficient diagnostic testing. Sometimes you will fail to realize quite often that you've injured a disc and that has to be taken care of. So there's lots of diagnostic testing, from x-rays that sometimes aren't even taken, to MRIs, to CT scans, to nerve tests. So that's the first thing. Number 2, improper or insufficient treatment. Whenever you're treating any injury, it is critical to consider, what does that tissue do when it's healthy? For instance, if you broke a bone, that bone is not supposed to move in the middle of the bone. So how do we treat a broken bone? We immobilize it by putting it in a cast. If a joint gets injured, what do we want that healthy joint to do? We want it to be able to move pain-free. So the treatment has to be directed at the tissues that were injured. Number 3, and this is what happened with me, and I'm suffering to this day to some degree, thank God for chiropractic, is a delay in proper treatment. The healing process starts immediately after the injury. There are 3 stages. So there's an inflammatory stage, then the body starts to lay down tissue, then it remodels that tissue. And it heals injuries like this with scar tissue. The problem is, without proper treatment, scar tissue heals in a way in which it is not healthy. It is weaker and less elastic than healthy tissue. And that sets the stage for a whole host of ongoing problems. And the 4th key is not treating long enough. Soft tissues take a good year to heal. That doesn't necessarily always mean that you need to be treated for a year, but you need to be treated over a long enough period of time that the healing process is healing those tissues in the most functional, healthiest way. Otherwise, you set the stage for chronic, permanent, ongoing problems. Do yourself a favor. Get proper treatment. Whether your whiplash injury happened yesterday, last week, last month, or last year, it is never too late to start, but the sooner the better. Make sure to subscribe to my social media channels where I post information on a regular basis. You can also visit my website, lifewithinchiropractic.com, for lots of great information. Thank you.